She won't say it out loud, but her subtle gestures will tell you everything. Here's the truth. Women don't just blurt out their deepest desires. Instead, they send signals. Quiet, deliberate, and often unnoticed by most men. But if you can read these cues, you'll know exactly when she's fantasizing about you. In this video, I'm breaking down the exact behaviors women show when they're thinking about you in a more than friendly way. These aren't the obvious signs like playful touches or compliments. Those are surface level. I'm talking about deeper, subconscious actions that scream desire without her even realizing it. And here's the kicker. Once you spot these signs, I'll show you how to respond in a way that amplifies her attraction. Got it? Let's go. 1. She keeps looking at your mouth. When a woman's mind is wandering into fantasies, one of the clearest signs is where her eyes go. If she's glancing at your lips during a conversation, it's not random. This is her subconscious signaling physical attraction. Imagine this, you're mid-conversation, and you catch her gaze dropping to your mouth more than once. She might even bite her own lip while doing it. When you notice this, slow down your speech, make your tone deeper and your words more deliberate. Hold eye contact before breaking into a slight smirk. It creates a magnetic pull and builds anticipation. 2. She plays with her hair. This is a classic, but you need to recognize how she's doing it. If she's running her fingers through her hair or twirling it in a slow, almost hypnotic way while looking at you, it's not just a nervous tick. It's her body's way of drawing attention to herself. Picture this. She's listening to you talk, but her hands keep moving to her hair. The key is whether she's doing it softly, almost teasingly, versus a random, distracted motion. Respond to this by complimenting her subtly, but with confidence. Say something like, "You have a way of making even small things like that look captivating." Watch her reaction. This shifts the dynamic and builds intimacy. 3. She mirrors your movements. One of the strongest psychological signals of attraction is mirroring. When she's subconsciously mimicking your posture, gestures, or tone of voice, it means she feels deeply connected to you. For example, you lean forward on the table and moments later, she does the same. Or you take a sip from your drink and she mirrors that action almost immediately. Test this by making a subtle, deliberate move, like adjusting your seat or touching your face, and see if she follows. If she does, escalate the connection by leaning slightly closer and lowering your voice as you speak. 4. Her voice gets softer around you. When women fantasize, they often unconsciously shift their tone. Her voice will become softer, more melodic, and her words will slow down. This is her way of creating a more intimate vibe between you two. Visualize this. She starts a conversation with a typical tone, but as things progress, you notice her voice getting lower and her sentences feel more thoughtful. It's a deliberate shift to draw you in. Match her energy but stay in control. Lower your own voice slightly but don't rush. Make her lean in, both physically and mentally, to hear what you're saying. It adds layers to the tension. 5. She finds ways to be closer to you. If she's fantasizing about you, she'll look for excuses to bridge the physical gap between you. It's not always obvious, like sitting next to you. It could be as subtle as leaning towards you when you speak or brushing past you in a crowded space. For example, you're standing at a party, and she coincidentally ends up next to you again and again, or she lightly touches your arm when she laughs, even though it's not necessary for the moment. Don't just let her do the work. Reciprocate in small, calculated ways. For example, if she leans in, place your hand on the table near hers, closing the gap. If she touches your arm, hold the touch for a split second longer when you react. But here's the most overlooked sign of all, the one that separates the amateurs from the experts in spotting attraction. It's subtle, almost invisible if you're not paying attention. And once you see it, you'll know she's not just fantasizing. She's waiting for you to make a move. I'll get to that in just a second. 7. Her breathing changes when she's around you. Most guys overlook this, but her breathing is a dead giveaway of her emotional state. When a woman fantasizes, her heart rate naturally picks up, and her breathing becomes shallower and more noticeable. Imagine this. You're close to her during a conversation, and you notice she takes a quick breath or her chest subtly rises and falls more than usual. Don't call it out directly. That would break the mood. Instead, use it as a cue to lean in slightly or create a pause in the conversation. This amplifies the tension, making her even more focused on you. 8. She keeps touching her neck or collarbone. The neck is one of the most sensitive areas of the body, and when a woman touches it around you, it's often an unconscious way of highlighting her vulnerability and femininity. This is one of the clearest nonverbal cues that she's thinking about you in a romantic way. Picture this. She brushes her hair off her shoulder, exposing her neck, or gently touches her collarbone while talking to you. Compliment her in a way that ties into what she's highlighting. For instance, if she exposes her neck, say, "That's a stunning necklace. It suits you perfectly." It acknowledges her beauty in a classy, confident way. 9. She laughs more at your jokes, even the bad ones. Humor is a cornerstone of attraction. If she's genuinely interested, she'll find reasons to laugh, even when your jokes aren't exactly comedic gold. This isn't about the joke, it's about connecting with you on a deeper level. So imagine you make an offhand, cheesy remark, and she still bursts out laughing, even though you know it wasn't your best work. Use this as an opportunity to tease her playfully. Say something like, "Wow, either I'm funnier than I thought, or you're trying really hard to impress me." This keeps the energy light and flirty. 10. She brings up past interactions. When a woman starts reminiscing about moments you've shared, no matter how small, it means she's been thinking about you even when you're not around. This is her way of building a connection and reminding you of your shared history. For example, she says something like, "Remember that time you told me about your crazy trip to Mexico? That story was hilarious." Respond by building on the memory and tying it back to her. For instance, "I do remember, but now I'm curious, what's the most adventurous thing you've done?" This keeps the focus on her while strengthening the bond. 11. She becomes curious about your personal life. If she's fantasizing about you, she'll want to know more about who you are. She'll ask deeper questions like your thoughts on relationships, your passions, or even your past. For example, she casually asks, "What's your idea of the perfect weekend?" Or, "Do you see yourself settling down someday?" Answer honestly, but with an air of mystery. Instead of giving a straightforward response, say, "I've got some ideas, but I'd have to show you sometime." This invites her to imagine being part of your life. 12. Her body angles towards you, even in a group. Body language never lies. If she's fantasizing about you, her posture will naturally angle towards you, even in crowded or group settings. Her feet, knees, or torso will often point directly at you. For example, you're at a gathering and you notice she's subtly turning her body toward you even when someone else is speaking. Acknowledge her focus by giving her your full attention. Make direct eye contact and lean slightly into her space when responding. It signals that you're in tune with her. 13. She gives you a prolonged goodbye. When it's time to part ways, she'll find reasons to extend the interaction. This could mean lingering in conversation, giving you a longer than usual hug, or even saying something like, "Let me know when you get home." For example, you're saying goodbye after a date and she hesitates before walking away, almost as if she's waiting for you to make a move. Don't let the moment pass. If the vibe feels right, go for a kiss or suggest plans for the next time you'll see each other. Confidence in these moments leaves a lasting impression. Now, here's the one sign that trumps them all. She starts initiating physical touch in subtle ways, whether it's brushing her hand against yours or placing her hand on your shoulder during a conversation. These small gestures are her way of testing the waters and inviting you to escalate. The next time you feel her touch linger, don't hesitate. Place your hand gently over hers or close the gap between you two. This moment is crucial. It's her way of giving you the green light without saying a word. We've covered 13 key behaviors women show when they're fantasizing about you. If you can spot these signs, you'll never have to second-guess her feelings again. Remember, attraction is about awareness and action. Don't miss your opportunities. Now it's your move. Take these insights, put them into practice, and start noticing the subtle ways women are showing interest in you. If you want more strategies like this, hit subscribe and check out the next video.